How are you doing? It's been a while since I posted a video. I've been posting a couple of shorts a couple times a week, and it's something that I'll probably be doing, well, as often as I can. With breaks here and there, but I know the normal content, sometimes I'm gone for like weeks or longer. And it's actually because, for the most part, I'm just focused on my own spiritual growth and development, you could say, where, I just spent a lot of time studying and meditating and thinking about spiritual things for myself, basically. And because of that, I post less often, but when I do post, I try to make sure that it does contain some useful insights. That's the main goal of the channel, after all. Now, another thing I wanted to point out was that some people might notice that the comment section is closed. And they might be wondering, why is that? Why are you not allowing people to comment? Well, here's the thing. In the months that I'm gone from YouTube, of course, my channel gets comments. And, they can be very positive and very supportive comments from people that say that they really enjoy the content, that it really helped them. Which is great, of course. That's the whole point of this channel and the videos. But then there's also other stuff that is starting to happen more and more, I noticed, where very religious people come to my channel. And I realize, some videos, especially with the titles and the subjects, they deal with stuff from the Bible, for example. So it only makes sense that Christians might stumble upon my content. And again, that is no problem. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't put it on the internet for everyone to find. But the thing is that there's a growth of people who, how do I say this nicely, that only, come to bitch and complain. And for the most part, again, I ignore it, but sometimes after weeks or months of reading fucking dumb shit, I get kind of annoyed and pissed off. So I might just start feeling like, I'm kind of, I kind of want to say something back now, because I'm getting sick and tired of stupid idiots just, saying stupid shit, where it's so obvious that they are completely ignorant and dumb on certain matters that they should not really talk about to begin with. So I know to some that might be shocking, or like, oh, what the hell, man, this guy talk about the infinite, about the divine, and then he's like so rude and stuff to others at times. Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing. Being spiritually aware doesn't mean that you don't get upset or annoyed with things or people in this dimension of existence. That's just a fact. So I felt like putting that out there real briefly as well, that there's the reason why my comment section is closed, and maybe forever, maybe not forever, I don't know. Because, as I try to explain here, it just kind of annoying just to see that there's more and more people just saying weird things in the comment section, basically. So for everyone that just watches and doesn't comment, that's great. I mean, if you watch it because you find it interesting, well, I appreciate your support. That's basically all I could ever ask for as a YouTuber anyway, that people tune into your content and just watch it. So that's my explanation for that. And now I wanted to get into the subject itself, where I have this journal open on my PC right now, and it says there's almost 140 pages. So that goes to show you that if I were to put this into a book, it would be a fairly big one, depending on the size of the paper itself. So that's just to let you know there's a lot of stuff that I could talk about on this channel, and I probably will over time. I just take bits and pieces here and there from my journal and then share them through YouTube shorts or longer content. So for this video, I wanted to talk about the following journal entry I have, which states: the human body gives us a temporary, limited perspective of reality. Now imagine for a moment if the only thing we believe to be true about ourselves is based on this limited perception, and you can clearly see the great ignorance blinding us all from the moment we were born. Basically, if we think we are the body and forget it's all temporary, then we conclude all kinds of limiting ideas about ourselves and existence, which causes great suffering. The beautiful truth remains that you are infinite and the body is only a temporary vehicle for your consciousness to operate in what we call three-dimensional space. So even though in this dimension of existence we experience lack, loss, and limitations of all kinds, we should never forget that it's not showing us the full picture of existence itself. It is all much greater. It is, as mentioned before, infinite, and the body temporarily keeps this hidden from view. You see, that is the problem right there for most of us, is that we are so used to functioning through this body we currently have and experience that we forget the bigger picture. And this bigger picture still remains that you are an eternal, infinite state of awareness. But right now, as this eternal, infinite state of awareness, you are aware of a human existence. That's what's happening. This is why it's so useful and also fascinating to contemplate it for yourself every day. 3 questions. One is, who am I? The second one is, what am I? And the third would be, where am I? What is this place all about? What is this dimension? What's going on here? And it's really interesting because these are 3 very, very deep spiritual questions to ask yourself, and you can't answer them superficially or like quickly, like in the sense that it just takes time to really think what the answer would be to those 3 questions. And as you dive into that for yourself, you'll discover more and more about your true nature, which will allow you to go beyond the illusion of physicality, of the limits of the flesh, of this body, of this human existence that we are experiencing. Because this is such an important point. If you forget that this is just an experience that you're having as a state of infinite awareness, then you start to identify with the experience as being you. So that means we would all start to think and believe we are the body. We are this human being itself when we're not. Because ultimately this body will return to dust. It will be given back to the earth. It will go into the grave. We all know this. So that is not who we really were. But yet we are operating under this delusion that we are the body. And then, this suffering that comes into view is that if people die, we are super sad and oh my God, they're gone. And then maybe our own death is going to be like that as well, where you realize, oh my God, my time has come. I'm going to die. No, oh my God, what is happening? It's because right then and there, you're just too focused and under the belief that you are the body. So then obviously it is kind of sad when people die around you, and also scary if it's gonna come for you when the time arrives. But regardless of the experience of dying itself being uncomfortable or scary, depending on how it happens, it still remains important to always grasp your true nature, which is a state of awareness, of infinite awareness. So once you pass away, or once someone you know has passed away, since they are a state of infinite awareness, that means they simply become aware of something else, of something different. We can say they become aware of a different dimension. It's the same as when you go to sleep. You become aware of your dream world, which is, again, a different dimension of existence. That is absolutely beautiful and powerful. The more you start to play around with this in your own consciousness, that dying is basically the same as going to sleep at night. Although, of course, when you go to bed and going to take a nap, usually, you just lay there and you fall asleep peacefully. I mean, ultimately, that's just what happens. Yeah, sometimes people have trouble falling asleep because of worries or other problems in their lives, but ultimately, you just fall asleep because of sheer exhaustion in that case, and then you end up in your dream world. And in some cases, which is rare sadly, but I've been there at least, so I know from experience you can even become aware in your dreams when and that's when we call it lucid dreaming. And it's then that you realize, what am I? Then you can answer that question. more clearly for yourself, who am I and what am I? Because the first responses to those questions might be entirely based on physical existence. So when you think of who am I, you might answer it by saying, well, this is my name, this is my gender, this is my age, this is who I am, is what you would say physically. And then what am I? You would say, I'm a man, I'm a human, obviously, look at me, what do you think I am, an alien, a monster, a fucking abomination? I mean, we can go all over the place with this if you want, but those are things purely based on physical existence, on the idea of physicality. But then when you become aware in your own dreams, you can no longer say those things. You can no longer say, well, I'm a human. Wait, what? But this experience I'm having right now in a totally different world is not part of my human existence at all. My human self is on a bed somewhere on planet Earth, asleep. But yet here I am, as a state of awareness, aware of something else than physical existence. And that is the way I would say you should try to look at this in your own life and with the people around you if they pass away, that they're simply becoming aware in a different dimension of existence. And just that alone can actually be very comforting, I think, because it shows that, hey, death is not the end, or it's not that great, sad, tragic thing that I thought it was. Because the sadness still comes in through our own ignorance. So that is why in the journal entry that I just shared, I try to convey this idea that the human body gives us a temporary, limited perspective of reality. It really does. That's all that's going on here. And our suffering is because we obey that limited perspective, forgetting we are infinite awareness, one with infinity, with the infinite, one with everything. That's the beauty of life, of existence, is everything is one, but it operates through different frequencies, which you can also call or describe as different dimensions of existence. And that is why there's talks about the fourth dimension being the astral dimension, the astral world. That is the dimension you actually become aware of once you pass away. But you also become aware of it when you go to sleep. Because you see your infinite consciousness, you as awareness, keep shifting what points you are aware of through infinity. That's the beauty of your existence. I hope it helps you to see the greater picture of your true nature, because then you can overcome so much suffering and you realize, all this stuff that made me sad or made things painful or hard for me was all because I believed in stuff that is not even true and is not conveying the real truth of who I am, what I am. So ultimately, I think people should consider all of this for themselves and how it can help them. Hopefully it does. And then you'll see that your mind starts to expand more and more, because that is what spiritual awakening is all about. It's this idea of spiritual awakening is about becoming more aware and therefore awake to the real truth of who you are, what you are, which all spiritual texts throughout ancient history have tried to tell humanity. All religions try to teach that as well. And so then if we circle this back to the beginning of my video, when it came to stupid comments I might get, well, that's the thing. People seem to feel, there's a certain percentage of humanity that seems to feel or think that what I'm sharing is like demonic or something. They really think that because of their religious beliefs. The only person that can speak the truth is Jesus Christ, for example, or whatever religion you are, then this person from their religious book is the only person that knows the truth, and you should only listen to those texts, etc. And I find that really stupid, because of course there is a lot of wisdom and truth in religious texts and scriptures everywhere. But to really, only take that as the only fucking conclusion about reality is very limited again. We're dealing with infinity here, so you can have an infinite way of looking at things. And so therefore, I try not to judge But since I'm also a human, I have moments where I do get upset, obviously, and then I judge myself. Then I'm like judging others, which I know is is a waste of time. But others may not have realized this yet, and that's why they like to judge and like to bitch and complain about anything you share on the internet. But hey, my channel is just sharing spiritual information. That's literally the basis of it all. So hopefully this video gave you something to think about as well. And with the next upload, I'll try to stay more on the main subject of the video. This one contained a little bit of other stuff in there that I felt like I had to at least explain properly for those that may have been wondering about some changes concerning the channel. Anyways, that's all I had to share for now. I hope you have a great day, and never forget that you are a state of infinite awareness having a human experience.